I want you to bring what's called an endowed object. There's an attached file that kind of describes what that is, but I'll just kind of walk through a quick example. An endowed object is an object that you endow with like great meaning. So it could represent some kind of critical juncture in your life, an important relationship, just an important aspect to your narrative. And so recently, I'll talk about something that I may use. I found this little card, this little metal card. It was in this case, and hadn't. It took me a while to kind of figure out what it was, but this is from the Jail Hudson Company. So Hudson's was a big department store in Detroit, Michigan, where I was born. And this was issued to my grandfather, my maternal grandfather, who worked for Ford. I had a lot of people working in the auto industry in my family. And so this was actually like an early version of a credit card. I had a really close relationship with my grandpa Palo. Learned a lot about life and about a lot about kind of being with others in this world from him. He was a child of Finnish immigrants, as was my grandmother. He originally grew up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, where at the age of 16 he graduated from high school. He worked as a lumberjack, then in a copper mine, and then along with many people from around, actually even the South, he found his way to Detroit, to the auto industry, and there he worked for Ford for the entirety of his life, after his working life after that. That's also where he met my mother, who was already in Detroit, where her father was actually a butcher for Ford Motor Company. So a company store. Talk about how much the auto industry has shifted, that they used to employ so many people that they even had like things like butchers under their employment. But that relationship was significant to me in a lot of different ways. Being a Finnish immigrant from really the border, kind of in the news recently of Russia. He had a very kind of collectivist way of looking at the world. He was obviously he's a very strong union supporter. He was with Ford Motor Company when it unionized. But he was also a tremendous spirit. He loved people. People loved being around him. He was very charismatic and fun. And he also trusted, I think, me and my cousin and my sister, his 3 grandchildren, to kind of figure things out on our own. He trusted us, I think, earlier than a lot of other adults in our lives did. So this is my endowed object. It kind of reminds me of my roots. It reminds me of how important, for instance, the labor movement was. I don't think I would be sitting here without it. I don't think my family would have moved into the middle class. And it just represents this the importance of, to me, elders and youth within families, within communities, within organizations, being in deep relationship with each other. So you can unite kind of the vitality and the enthusiasm and the passion of youth with the wisdom and experience of elders. So that's an example of an endowed object.